G'day Spurs fans, Paul Hotspur Hippie here, the only psychedelic soccer show on the internet. Just taking a sneaky break, clearing my head down by the water. I suspect some people in England might be having to clear their heads a bit more than me, because what did you get served up in the barren wasteland of international football? A bowl of old slop. I didn't watch the game myself. I was streaming at the time this morning when the game was on, but I could tell from the thrilling 0-0 scoreline at half time that it's not exactly that I missed myself a festival of football. It looks like by accounts where England were boring. I mean, what do you expect? What do people suddenly think that things would change around? I want England to turn around because I want Southgate to go to Manchester United. But you know, it's interesting just looking at Spurs news in these times where there's nothing happening. The players are all away on international duty, so there's no PR stuff. There's no injury news that we don't really know about. And journalists take this time, of course, to instead of just print nothing, because I'd prefer if I did Tottenham news, search, that it would come up with nothing. But no, it comes up with a lot, all right. But it's all just fiction, all just complete fiction. We've been linked with every player under the sun. Look, I haven't heard of these players. I'm not going to look into it. The time that I'm going to start getting interested in transfers is when the transfer window opens, because that's when it becomes fact. You know, when rumours become near certainties and things like that, or things just fall through. But in March, no, I'm not really that interested in what rumours are for the summer at all. And there's always a temptation with journalists, and I've seen this before in previous lives, that they quite easily make the shift from reporting the news, just saying, well, this is what I've seen, this is what I've heard, to trying to make and shape the news. And there's a couple of examples of this that's come out recently. Fabrizio Romano reports were, this is a couple of weeks now though, it seems to have died over, so maybe there's nothing in it. But a few Scandinavian football managers have been saying that Fabrizio, in return for paying fees to his management company, will talk a bit more about their players. Enough people have said it that I think that there's got to be some truth behind this, and it just taints the whole here we go thing. I mean, there was Fabrizio, probably the number one source, I guess, for transfer news, especially when it was, you know, done on the dotted line. Next time I see one of his tweets or articles, am I just thinking he's talking this player up? He's saying clubs are interested in him. Is it true? Or has he just been paid to, what's the word they would call? Expose the player? I don't know if that's the right word. Raise his profile, raise a certain player's profile. So that's making the news. You see, I grew up in the days where the news was just on for like half an hour in the evenings. It's some boring bloke. The saturation seemed to be turned down on the TV. And while it was still state-sponsored propaganda, at least it was boring and didn't scare the shit out of you. Nowadays, oh my Lord, they're brewing up a conflict. They're brewing up a conflict. The headlines on this are getting worse and worse and worse as they're trying to grab more attention. The story is about Tottenham and Newcastle's trip to Melbourne for a friendly game 3 days after the Premier League closed. The headlines started off with stuff like, you know, Tottenham to disagree with England, you know, things like that. Then it became a clash between Postecoglou and Gareth Southgate. And the last one I saw was this morning, Tottenham and Newcastle on collision course. A collision course. I'm a very literal person sometimes. A collision course? What does that mean? They're like, Ange is in one car, Neville's in the other. All right, Ange. All right, Neville. And they just playing, what the fuck? I think it's a storm in a teacup. I'd be surprised if there was no controversy whatsoever at all. I even saw a headline today that said, when's Tottenham playing Man City? ? And I'm thinking, why the fuck are you asking me? You're the news. You tell me, what do I know? Because the Tottenham players are going to be flying over in lots of comfort. They're in the country for 2 days, doing a bit of training, kicking the ball about a bit, probably having a bit of a fun, have a bit of a laugh before they get their private jets off to wherever they're going next. Some are going to the Euros. Well, yeah, a few are actually going to the Euros. Some are going just on holiday to enjoy some time off. And I mean, if Gareth Southgate is worried about fatigue, I'd rather have a 24-hour flight in economy class than sit and listen to Gareth Southgate for 20 minutes. The guy has just so little passion, so little passion. But we do have a couple of Spurs players, a few Spurs players up for a chance at glory during the week. We've got three players representing Wales against Poland. I think it's Poland, isn't it? Well, let's hope Poland doesn't have a Jan Dobry. Brennan Johnson scoring in the game against Finland, which Wales ran away with. And let's hope, let's hope that if Wales get to the Euros, they don't completely go to sleep like they did in the World Cup, because they were pretty abysmal. Did they draw 1-1 with England? No. There's a tale, eh? Oh my Lord. So yeah, I'm finding, it is a bit hard to fill in the time. You always want to know what the latest news of your team and stuff like that is, but journalists just make stuff up now, don't they? It's they're all after a bit of traffic. So I've indulged. I've spent the time, and it took me a very long time. Tottenham Hotspur, sort out your membership process. I'm now a Tottenham member because I'm thinking maybe there'll be extra things for members when Spurs come over. So my membership lapses at the end of May. I don't know if that was the best investment I've ever made, but it was on heavy discount. It was only £10, which is pretty good. Whereas I believe members in England are paying the outrageous price of 55 quid a year, which, I don't know. Apparently mine's cheap though, because it's a digital only membership. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the boys coming out, whether they're jet lagged or not. It's going to be a laugh. I don't think there is any collision course. I don't think Tottenham are being linked with half the players that we're being linked with. But Fabrizio Romano, could there be something to that story? You'd like to think not, wouldn't it? Keep his reputation intact. But money corrupts, man. Money corrupts. Anyway, folks, I'm going to enjoy a little bit of fresh air with a few speedboats going past. I'm going to enjoy the tranquility. Peace and love, man. Peace and love, and come on, you Spurs.